Kurt Russell destroys show hosts for gun control, discusses Second Amendment law in the U.S. Let's discuss this topic together.
You know, my personal feeling is that there's a big difference between fantasy land and reality. Fantasy land is what we do. You're either writing something, writing a song, writing a book, doing a movie, doing a television show. That's fantasy land. And that's where that stuff belongs. In reality, when we're dealing with things like terrorism and whatnot, we're all going to have different opinions on how to do it and how to deal with it. Mine happens to be that I think there's a very strong reason Founding Fathers had for the Second Amendment, and that is that no government ever hasn't had to fight its own people, and its own people hasn't had to fight its own government. We had our Civil War. If that Second Amendment hadn't been there, those people would not have had the opportunity to do what they considered was defending their life, their way, their style of living. So I agree with that. I think that's an important part of our existence, and it's basically that simple.
In the broadest and most literal translation, the Second Amendment is the right of the people to keep and bear arms. However, other words in this amendment have caused controversy as to what exactly the authors meant. This sentence also refers to a well-organized militia, a group of armed men, as a necessary tool to keep the states safe. Herein lies the problem and the root of modern interpretations. When analyzing the Second Amendment, it is important to keep in mind the history of the U.S. and its independence. This is all a scary thing that is being fought now.
Recently, you made some headlines for saying that you felt gun control laws wouldn't deter terrorists. Explain to folks.
Interesting. Well, you know, these are these things where, first of all, I was in a situation, we do what we call the dog and pony.
Right.
We're out doing the dog and pony selling a picture. And you get sometimes you get what you feel is slightly ambushed by somebody who's really got an agenda. And that's sort of, I think, that's my opinion of what happened to me the other day. The last thing I like to watch is entertainers or actors get political. It's just something I can't stand watching. So having said that, no, I was kind of asked to put it in context somehow with this movie.
U.S. President Donald Trump has expressed support for the right of U.S. citizens to own guns, saying it is in the interests of security. I'm a big supporter of the Second Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, Ed, and I think it serves the interests of security. There are so many attacks where only the bad guys had guns, he said in an interview with British TV journalist Piers Morgan, citing the 13 November 2015 terrorist attack in Paris as an example. More than 130 people were victims of the attacks then. At the same time, the U.S. president is convinced that a ban on gun ownership would not have stopped criminals suffering from mental illness. Speaking about last year's terrorist attack in Las Vegas, he said that Stephen Paddock, who killed 58 people, would have had bombs if there were no firearms.
People more object to the excesses of the Second Amendment, not the Second Amendment. It's these boom guns.
And that's where the debate comes in. I think it's too bad that the debate can't remain kind of civil too, and that's hard to do. It's one of those things that, it's like I talked about, sometimes talking about terrorism. Whatever we do, and we all have our opinion on that too, whatever we do, we're a little late for the people who've died. And if you know somebody, or you know a child that was maimed in that situation, I got a strong feeling that one's opinion has a tendency to change that. So I just leave it open for interpretation by all different people and just say we're all in this together and we're going to hear each other talk about it.
Is that the last time you're going to talk politics as an actor?
Till I'm asked tonight, I'll be asked in an hour and a half about it. Once they trot that pony out there, I go let it go.
But you know what? If we have to be in it with somebody, I'm glad we're in it with you.
An interesting guest with an interesting point of view. I agree with him that there are only bad people, and that's it. Nevada Attorney General Adam Laxalt said Wednesday on Fox Business Network's Varney & Co. that tougher gun control laws won't stop terrorists who intend to kill anyone who contradicts their ideology. It's a problem that's hard to fight, and strict bans of everything won't help them fix it. What do you think about that? Write your opinion in the comments, and don't forget to watch other shocking news on the channel.